My cherished child, listen closely, for the very air around you vibrates with a truth deeper than sound, an echo of eternity calling to the core of your being. That stirring within, that quiet disquiet that sometimes settles upon your spirit like a gentle but persistent rain, it is not random, nor is it merely your own thought. It is my summons, a divine whisper growing into a clear call, inviting you to awaken fully from the slumber of the everyday and to step into the radiant, purposeful light for which you were created. Do you feel it, my beloved? That subtle, yet undeniable shift in the atmosphere of existence itself. The world, with its ceaseless noise, its urgent demands for your attention, its glittering distractions, it performs a shadow play upon the walls of your perception. It is real in its own way, yet it is fleeting. A transient illusion when measured against the enduring, unchanging reality of my love and the eternal home I am preparing for you. I have spoken to you in the silent language of creation, the sigh of wind through ancient trees, the breathtaking artistry of a sunrise painting the dawn sky, the profound stillness of a night ablaze with distant stars. My voice has been in the quiet moments, the unexpected joys, the gentle nudges of your conscience. But now my call becomes more distinct, more direct, for a season of profound change is drawing near, a time when the temporary structures men build will tremble and fade, revealing the eternal foundations I have laid. Let your heart hear this. This is not a message designed to instill fear, but one intended to inspire preparation. My deepest desire is not to see you caught unprepared, clinging desperately to securities that cannot last, or burdened by anxieties I long to lift from your shoulders. My love for you, my child, is far too vast, too protective, too all-encompassing, to allow you to face the unfolding future without the spiritual armor I provide, the impenetrable armor of unwavering faith, the shining shield of enduring hope, and the keen-edged sword of immutable truth. Therefore, I ask you now, with all the tenderness a loving parent holds for a precious child, to simply pause. Still the racing thoughts, quiet the inner clamor. Open your heart, not just partially, but wide open, allowing my words to sink deep, past the defenses, past the doubts, into the very essence of who you are. Let them be a soothing balm upon any wounds you carry, a steady light illuminating the path ahead, and an unshakable source of strength as you navigate the uncertainties of this world. If this message resonates within you, if it strikes a chord of recognition, ignites even a tiny spark of longing for something more, something true, then do not hide that light. Let it shine. Share this hope, this invitation with others who may be walking in shadows, searching for comfort, for meaning, for me. Sometimes, a simple act of sharing, a word spoken from a heart touched by my love, a gesture of genuine encouragement can become a lifeline for a soul feeling lost and adrift on turbulent seas. Look around you, my child, with discerning eyes. Observe the relentless cycles of the world. Nations rise, empires crumble, fortunes are amassed and then scattered like dust. The very things that seemed solid and permanent yesterday can vanish tomorrow. This restless, striving world is not the true, eternal home I have designed for your soul. This earthly realm, with its mixture of fleeting joys and pervasive sorrows, its constant pursuit of more, is a temporary dwelling place, a proving ground, a classroom where lessons of eternal significance are learned, preparing you for the boundless life that awaits. The chaos you sometimes perceive, the confusion that clouds understanding, the endless human striving for status, possessions, and power. These are often potent distractions, clever diversions orchestrated by forces that seek to keep your gaze fixed downward, away from the upward call, away from what holds eternal value. Do not anchor your heart, the deepest seat of your affections and trust, to possessions that decay, to relationships that may fracture under pressure, or to human accolades that fade like echoes. These are but fleeting shadows, insubstantial illusions that can never truly satisfy the profound yearning for lasting peace and unconditional love planted deep within your soul. Instead, build your life upon the unshakable foundation of my love. Place your trust wholly in me, the constant in a world of change, the eternal wellspring of love, peace, and security. When everything else seems to be shaking, when the ground feels unstable beneath your feet, my love for you remains steadfast, an immovable bedrock upon which you can securely stand and build a life of true meaning. Again, I say, this is not a summons to fear, my beloved. It is a call to heightened awareness, an invitation to awaken fully from the drowsy slumber of spiritual complacency, and to consciously embrace the eternal reality that awaits beyond this temporary veil. When your heart is truly aligned with mine, yielded to my love and my purposes, the end of this earthly chapter is not an event to be dreaded with anxiety. Instead, it becomes a glorious transition, a long-awaited homecoming to the place where you have always truly belonged, the place prepared for you before the foundation of the world. Take this time, my precious child, this sacred space I am creating in your awareness, to reflect deeply. Examine your life with unflinching honesty and gentle courage. Are your daily choices, your priorities, your energies being invested in things that hold eternal significance? Are you actively nurturing your soul, cultivating relationships grounded in love and truth, and diligently seeking the profound peace that only I can bestow, a peace that transcends circumstances? Now is the appointed time to draw near to me, closer than ever before. Strengthen the foundations of your faith through prayer and my word. Trust me implicitly, knowing that I will guide you, sustain you, and illuminate your path through whatever challenges or changes lie ahead. Be vigilant, my child. Stay watchful and discerning. The signs are unfolding around you for those with eyes to see and ears to hear. The unraveling of worldly systems, the increasing global turmoil, the erosion of compassion and truth in many quarters, these are not merely random, unfortunate events. They are akin to the birth pangs heralding a new era, the predictable consequences of a world that has collectively strayed far from my original, loving design for harmony and righteousness. Do not be like those who sleepwalk through life, spiritually oblivious to the approaching dawn of a new reality. Do not allow yourself to be caught unprepared, clinging desperately to illusions that are destined to dissolve. Stay alert. Keep the channels of your heart open and attuned to my voice, my gentle guidance. Consciously resist the countless distractions that constantly vie for your attention, seeking to pull you away from the path of enduring truth and lasting peace. You have felt it, haven't you, deep within your spirit? That subtle inner knowing, that quiet premonition, that sense that something significant, something world-altering is on the horizon. The relentless noise and frenetic activity of the world attempt to lull you into a false sense of security, whispering that things will continue as they always have. But you, my child, possess a sensitivity to the whispers of the spirit, an awareness of the subtle energetic shifts occurring beneath the surface of everyday life. This message is reaching you now for a specific reason. Your encounter with these words is not accidental. It is a divinely orchestrated appointment. This moment has been woven into the tapestry of your life by my infinite love, designed to awaken you more fully, to prepare your heart, and to empower you with my strength and wisdom for the times ahead. Do not let this sacred moment slip away unnoticed. Do not dismiss the stirring in your soul as mere coincidence, wishful thinking, or fanciful imagination. Recognize this as a direct call to action, a call to rise above the mundane, the superficial, the temporary, and to consciously embrace the extraordinary destiny I have planned for you, a destiny intertwined with my eternal purposes. Even as the foundations of the world seem to tremble, remember my unwavering promise. I will never ever leave you, nor will I forsake you. When the storms of life rage fiercely around you, when the ground beneath your feet feels unstable and uncertain, I will be your unyielding anchor, your solid foundation, your ever-present, inexhaustible source of strength, courage, and peace. I understand the questions that may arise in your heart, the doubts that flicker, the fears that seek to grip you. It is natural for the human mind to question endings, to fear change, to wonder why familiar patterns must cease. But understand this, my child. Endings are not always tragedies. Very often, they are the necessary precursors to glorious new beginnings, the catalysts for transformations far more wonderful than you can currently conceive. Trust the process, even when it feels disruptive. Trust me, my beloved child, for I hold the master keys to your future, a future brimming with authentic hope, genuine joy, and everlasting peace. This is not a promise of a life devoid of challenges, for challenges refine character and deepen faith, but it is an absolute guarantee of my unwavering presence beside you, guiding your steps, protecting your soul, and empowering you with my spirit every single step of the journey. The clock of this current age is ticking, my beloved. The time you have been given in this earthly life is an incredibly precious gift, a sacred trust, a unique opportunity to prepare your heart, align your life with my eternal purpose, and store up treasures that will last forever. Do not squander this invaluable time chasing fleeting pleasures that leave you empty, pursuing meaningless ambitions that ultimately disappoint, or accumulating material possessions that will eventually turn to dust and be left behind. Instead, focus your energy, your attention, your devotion on what truly matters in the grand sweep of eternity, cultivating genuine love for me and for others, practicing active kindness and compassion, extending forgiveness freely as you have been forgiven, nurturing peace within yourself and in your relationships, and deepening your personal, intimate connection with me through prayer, worship, and obedience. These are the true treasures, the qualities of the heart that will endure beyond time, the virtues that will shine with brilliant luster even amidst the deepest darkness. If the end of certain things as you know them is indeed drawing near, doesn't it make profound sense to consciously release the burdens that hold you back? Why cling tightly to old grudges, simmering bitterness, or paralyzing regrets? Why exhaust yourself chasing after illusions, fame, fortune, power, that promise fulfillment but ultimately leave the soul wanting? Money cannot buy entry into my kingdom. Fame is a fleeting echo. Possessions cannot accompany you beyond the veil of this life. They are distractions, often heavy anchors, preventing your spirit from soaring towards the true riches that await you in my presence. Instead, consciously cultivate the virtues that reflect my divine nature, the characteristics known as the fruit of my spirit dwelling within you. Unconditional love, deep-seated joy, abiding peace, patient endurance, genuine kindness, inherent goodness, unwavering faithfulness, gentle strength, and disciplined self-control. These are not mere human efforts. They are the supernatural outflow of my life within you. These are the qualities that last, the treasures that hold eternal value, the characteristics that will shine brightly in the everlasting kingdom I am preparing. My dear one, allow the light of this truth to illuminate your path forward. Share this message of hope, this call to awareness and preparation, with others who may be searching for hope in a seemingly hopeless world, searching for meaning amidst the confusion, searching for a connection to something, someone greater than themselves. Your simple, courageous act of sharing could be the very spark that ignites faith in another heart, gently guiding them towards me. Now is the time for decisive action, my child. If you recognize areas in your life that are out of alignment with my will, areas that need correction or adjustment, address them now, with courage and humility. If there are relationships fractured by misunderstanding or hurt that need mending, reach out proactively. Extend the olive branch of forgiveness. Seek reconciliation. If there are apologies you know you need to offer, do so without further delay, humbling yourself for the sake of peace and restoration. Do not postpone these vital actions, thinking tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow is not guaranteed to any person. Every moment you delay in making things right, in seeking forgiveness or extending it, is a precious moment lost, a moment that could have been invested in bringing healing, restoration, and reconciliation to yourself, to others, and deepening your connection with me. Seize this present opportunity to clear the path, to lighten your load, to walk in integrity and love. You were not created solely for this temporary earthly existence. Your lifespan here, even if it stretches for many decades, is but a fleeting breath, a single heartbeat, compared to the immeasurable expanse of eternity that stretches before you. Yet tragically, so many live as though this brief life is the entirety of reality, pouring all their precious energy, time, and resources into pursuits that will ultimately vanish like mist in the morning sun. I desire for you to live with eternity consciously in view. Let this eternal perspective shape your daily decisions, guide your actions, temper your words. Consider the eternal consequences of your choices. Are you living in a way that truly reflects your divine calling and purpose? Are you investing in treasures stored in heaven, acts of love, kindness, faith, and obedience? Or are you clinging desperately to the fleeting, perishable things of this earth? Precious one, you are intrinsically worthy of profound joy, deep inspiration, and a life brimming with purpose and meaning. Walk with me on this journey of awakening and preparation. Subscribe your heart fully to this message of truth. Let it be a constant, gentle reminder of my fathomless love for you and my specific, personal call upon your life. Allow your heart to blossom and expand with each insight, each revelation, each conscious step you take closer to me, into the fullness of the life I intend for you. My dear child, my deepest longing is for you to be fully ready, not just mentally prepared for the end of this current age, but spiritually equipped and eagerly anticipating the glorious beginning of the eternal life I have meticulously prepared for you. Imagine a life completely free from pain, sorrow, tears, and fear. Imagine a reality where you are fully known, intimately understood, unconditionally loved, and perpetually immersed in the radiant, life-giving light of my immediate presence. This is not a fantasy. It is your promised inheritance. Take these words, my beloved, and anchor them deep within your heart. Let them be your compass in times of confusion, your comfort in moments of distress, and your unwavering source of strength when you feel weak or overwhelmed. Remember, you are never, ever truly alone. I am perpetually with you, closer than your own breath, walking faithfully beside you, upholding you with my righteous right hand, every single step of your earthly pilgrimage. And when the final chapter of this world's story is written, when time gives way to eternity, I will be there, waiting with open arms to welcome you personally into my loving embrace. I will reveal to you the breathtaking, unimaginable beauty of eternity, a realm of existence so glorious, so fulfilling, so wondrous, that it surpasses your wildest dreams and deepest longings. Perhaps you have encountered messages similar to this before, warnings or calls to readiness. But this time, I urge you, with all the earnestness of my divine love, to take it with utmost seriousness. Consider this your personal wake-up call, my heartfelt plea reaching directly into your life, seeking to awaken you fully to the profound reality of what is unfolding and what is ultimately to come. You are encountering these words at this specific juncture in your life for a divine reason. This moment was foreordained, woven into the fabric of your destiny long before you took your first breath. It is no mere coincidence that you find yourself reading or hearing this message right now. I am speaking directly to the deepest part of your heart, and I implore you to listen, truly listen with spiritual ears, and to respond with faith and action. There is genuinely no time to waste on trivialities or procrastination. If you have been postponing necessary changes in your life, knowing deep down that certain habits, attitudes, or relationships are hindering your spiritual growth, if you have been subtly ignoring the gentle nudges of my spirit, brushing off my quiet voice, or if you have been living under the illusion that you have unlimited time to get serious about your faith, that mindset must change, starting today. You are ready, my child, even if you don't feel fully equipped. The readiness comes not from your own strength, but from your willingness to surrender. Surrender your heart, your will, your future completely to me. Let me lead you step by step. Let me prepare you from the inside out. Let me equip you with everything you need for the journey ahead. The end of certain things is indeed approaching, but it absolutely does not have to be a time of fear, anxiety, or dread for those whose hearts are mine. When you are ready, when your heart is fully aligned with my love and purpose, the transition, whenever it comes, will be a time of profound joy, ultimate fulfillment, and glorious homecoming. Consider this, my beloved, perhaps one of my most earnest pleas to your heart. I have communicated my love and my call to you in countless ways throughout your life, through the intricate beauty and staggering power of the creation surrounding you, through the quiet whispers of your God-given conscience, through the specific challenges and trials you have faced which were designed to draw you closer, through the loving words or actions of others who follow me. Now I am speaking directly to you through this specific message. Please do not turn away. Do not dismiss my voice. Do not harden your heart. I am reaching out to you now with the full intensity of my boundless love, asking you, imploring you to prepare your heart to trust me completely and to be ready for what lies ahead. My deepest desire, the longing of my eternal heart, is to spend eternity in joyful fellowship with you, my precious child. But the choice ultimately rests with you. Will you truly listen this time? Will you respond with decisive action? Will you diligently prepare your heart and life before the opportunity passes, healing the wounds within, understanding your pain and path, beloved? As you draw closer to me, as you seek to prepare your heart, you may become aware of deeper wounds within you, echoes of past pain that still shape your present experience. Understand that my desire is not only for your eternal security, but for your present healing and wholeness. Many of you carry burdens from your earliest years, wounds inflicted, perhaps unintentionally, perhaps deliberately, by those who were meant to provide safety and love. Recognizing and tending to these wounds is a vital part of your preparation and growth. Sometimes, the journey towards healing involves acknowledging and processing deep-seated grief. This is not a sign of weakness, but of courage. Mourning is the natural, necessary response to loss. The loss of safety, the loss of innocence, the loss of nurturing, the loss of being truly seen and valued in your formative years. To optimize this sacred process of mourning, there are avenues your heart can take, paths towards release and restoration. Consider these ways I have made for you to process pain, through righteous anger, through cleansing tears, through giving voice to the pain, and through allowing yourself to truly feel the depths of your emotions without judgment. The sacred power of righteous anger lets speak plainly about anger. The world often misunderstands it, associating it only with destructive rage. But there is a form of anger, my child, that is righteous, cleansing, and deeply healing. This is the anger that rises up not from malice, but against injustice. It is the soul's healthy protest against having been wronged, diminished, or neglected, especially during those vulnerable childhood years when you were utterly dependent. Many of you, my precious children, carry the invisible scars of childhood hurts, experiences of being intimidated, chronically humiliated, consistently overlooked, or emotionally abandoned. It is not only okay, but necessary to feel anger about these things. As you learn to grieve effectively, this anger becomes a powerful tool. It's a healthy resentment surfacing, finally acknowledging the profound insecurity and fear you may have lived with for so long within your own family. It's okay to be angry that perhaps you never had a consistent, safe guide, a reliable protector, or someone who offered fair, appreciative recognition of your budding self, your accomplishments, your very being. It is right to feel anger over the betrayal inherent in having no safe harbor, no one trustworthy to turn to for help or comfort on countless occasions when you needed it most. This righteous anger needs an outlet, a safe expression that harms neither yourself nor others. When you feel this anger rising against the memory of past traumas, or even more importantly, against the ongoing effects of that trauma, especially the harsh, self-hating voice of the inner critic that echoes those damaging messages, you can channel it constructively. You can, in the privacy of your own heart, or perhaps speaking aloud when alone, firmly say no, or be quiet. to that internal voice of condemnation, which often acts as an agent of those past hurts. This act of externalizing the anger, directing it towards the source or its internal echo, prevents you from turning it destructively inward upon yourself. It is a powerful way to reclaim and restore the self-preservation instincts I placed within you, instincts that may have been suppressed or damaged by early experiences. In most situations, you do not need to directly confront the individuals from your past to express this healing anger. The crucial target is often the internalized voice, the echo of the past that still tries to dictate your worth or safety. The exception, of course, is if someone from your past is still actively causing you harm in the present. Then direct boundary setting is essential. This righteous anger acts as a rescuer, pulling you out of the toxic mire of shame. When damaging words or actions from the past caused you pain, you might have unconsciously internalized the blame, turning the accusation inward into a heavy cloak of shame. Righteous anger allows you to redirect that feeling, placing the responsibility back where it belongs, on the unjust action or word, not on your inherent worth. This process fuels your motivation to continue the vital work of establishing strong inner boundaries against the relentless attacks of that negative inner critic. It strengthens your resolve to protect your inner sanctuary. You can practice expressing this anger privately, in your thoughts, or perhaps by writing it down and destroying it. Sometimes, sharing it with a deeply trusted friend or a wise counselor who can witness and validate your feelings without judgment can be immensely helpful. However, as you become more practiced, much of this vital work can be done silently, internally. It becomes an anger-fueled thought block, an immediate mental boundary erected whenever the inner critic launches an attack, protecting your spirit from its venom. For some of you, the identification with this harsh inner critic has become so complete that it feels like your entire identity. In such cases, a period of intensely focused effort on fighting back against this critic, using the energy of righteous anger, is often necessary until a healthier sense of self-protection emerges, until you can clearly distinguish its voice from mine and from your true self. Anger can also rescue you from the paralyzing feeling of childlike powerlessness that often accompanies flashbacks or moments of intense emotional triggering. When old fear washes over you, righteous anger can rise up and remind you, I am an adult now, I have resources, I have my strength, I can protect myself. It anchors you in your present reality and capability. When used wisely and constructively, righteous anger helps diminish and even dissolve pervasive fear. It reawakens and nurtures your God-given instinct for self-preservation. Through consistent practice, it helps you develop a clearer sense of healthy boundaries, both external, knowing what treatment you will and will not accept from others, and internal, refusing to allow the inner critic to bully you. This keeps you safer, freer from manipulation, and liberated from the most insidious form of bullying, the one that happens inside your own mind. Finally, this healthy anger reinforces the essential work of thought correction and thought substitution. As you reject the lies of the critic, you create space to embrace the truth of your inherent worth in my eyes, your belovedness, and the goodness and lovability you can find in others whom you prayerfully choose to draw close to. It's a process. Anger helps you progressively reclaim your true self from the grip of past negativity, re-educating your heart to be kind and compassionate towards yourself, just as I am towards you, and enabling you to build healthier, more authentic connections with others. Breaking cycles through acknowledged anger. Understanding this righteous anger is also crucial for breaking free from repeating painful patterns in your relationships. If you don't allow yourself to reconnect with the legitimate anger you felt, or should have felt towards past mistreatment, you risk unconsciously accepting or even seeking out similar dynamics in your present life. Consider a soul I know, gentle and seemingly timid, who endured devastating betrayals as an adult by figures she trusted implicitly. Tracing this pattern back, we uncovered a deep childhood wound. A trusted relative, seemingly the only kind figure in a landscape of emotional neglect, exploited her loneliness. This began subtly, blurring boundaries, eventually escalating into inappropriate and damaging contact. Because her parents had stifled her ability to say no early on, crushing her natural self-protective instincts, she felt powerless to protest this violation. Later in life, this pattern tragically repeated with others in positions of trust. In those moments, overwhelmed by the echoes of the past, what some call emotional flashbacks, she felt frozen, unable to protest, only able to react afterwards with self-blame and shame, turning the anger inward. The path to healing involved allowing her, over time and within a safe space, to finally access and express the profound, righteous anger she felt towards each of those who had violated her trust. Anger at the injustice, the betrayal, the exploitation. It was a process of witnessing and validating that long-suppressed pain. Then came a moment of breakthrough. She shared, face radiant with a mixture of relief and newfound strength, how a similar unhealthy dynamic had begun to unfold with a colleague. The pattern started subtly, seemingly friendly touches escalating towards inappropriate intimacy. But this time, equipped with her reclaimed righteous anger and sense of self-worth, she was able to act differently. Before the situation could escalate further, she found her voice. In the presence of others, she clearly and firmly stated, "Please don't touch me. I don't like it and I need you to stop." The colleague immediately ceased the behavior. Tears of joy and profound relief streamed down her face as she recounted this victory. A victory born from finally allowing herself to feel and channel righteous anger protectively. This is the power of reclaiming your voice, fueled by acknowledging past hurts. The healing balm of tears and voiced pain alongside righteous anger. Allow yourself the release of tears, my child. Your tears are not weakness. They are liquid prayers, expressions of sorrow, grief, and sometimes even overwhelming joy or relief. Crying cleanses the soul, releases pent-up emotional pressure, and acknowledges the reality of your pain. Do not be ashamed of your tears. I see each one, and they are precious to me. Similarly, finding ways to give voice to your pain can be profoundly healing. This might be through journaling, talking to a trusted confidant, engaging in creative expression like art or music, or simply speaking your hurt aloud to me in prayer. Verbalizing the unspoken, bringing the hidden pain into the light, diminishes its power over you. It allows you to externalize the struggle, to name it, and in naming it, begin to gain mastery over it. Embracing your feelings. The path to wholeness ultimately. Healing involves learning to embrace the full spectrum of your emotions: anger, sadness, fear, joy, shame, guilt, without judgment and without being completely overwhelmed by them. For too long, perhaps, you were taught or learned to suppress, deny, or numb your feelings, especially the difficult ones. But your emotions are God-given signals, messengers providing valuable information about your inner world and your experiences. Learning to sit with your feelings, to listen to what they are telling you with compassion and curiosity, is a vital skill for emotional maturity and spiritual growth. It allows you to respond consciously rather than react automatically. This journey of feeling, truly feeling, is part of becoming whole. Healing through connection. The relational path, my beloved child, understand this fundamental truth. You were not designed to heal or to live in isolation. I created you for connection, for relationship first and foremost with me, and then with others. Deep healing, especially from the kinds of wounds that arise from abandonment, neglect, or unsafe relationships in your formative years, often requires experiencing a new kind of relationship, a corrective, healing connection. Many of you who carry the weight of what scholars might call complex PTSD, CPTSD, or attachment wounds, have never consistently experienced a relationship that felt truly safe enough. Safety, in this context, means more than just physical protection. It means emotional safety, the freedom to be yourself, to express your feelings and needs without fear of judgment, ridicule, contempt, or withdrawal of love. Healing these deep relational wounds typically necessitates engaging in a restorative relationship experience, perhaps with a wise counselor or therapist, a committed partner, or a truly trustworthy friend. The key is that this other person needs the capacity to be present with your pain and discomfort, and also with their own, with compassion. They need to be relatively comfortable feeling and expressing their own sadness, anger, fear, and vulnerability in healthy ways. When another person possesses this level of emotional maturity and intelligence, they can gently guide you, by example and through interaction, to gradually let go of the automatic habit of shutting down or rejecting your own feelings. They can help you navigate intense emotions without getting lost in reactive cycles of defensiveness or withdrawal. A person with good enough emotional intelligence can connect with you through safe, compassionate eye contact and a calm, reassuring tone of voice. They can model for you how to simply be with difficult emotions with acceptance, rather than needing to immediately fix, flee, or fight them. Some researchers speak of this as the co-regulation of affect. It means that being in the presence of a calm, regulated person can actually help to calm and regulate your own nervous system, especially when you are distressed. There's even growing understanding in neuroscience about how our brains are wired for connection, perhaps through what are called mirror neurons. In simple terms, observing someone else handle a difficult situation or emotion calmly can actually help our own brain learn how to do the same. When you see someone else, like a caring friend or counselor, stay present and compassionate with your pain without getting triggered themselves, your own system begins to learn that it's possible to feel deeply without being destroyed by the feeling. Understanding the roots of relational difficulty, CPTSD. Many deep-seated relational difficulties stem from those early experiences where the very people meant to be your safe haven, often parents or primary caregivers, were themselves sources of danger. This danger might have been overt harsh words, contemptuous tones, severe punishments, or it might have been more subtle but just as damaging emotional distance, neglect, chronic unavailability, coldness. When a child repeatedly experiences such treatment, their developing nervous system learns to live in a state of chronic fear or hyperalertness. They become easily triggered into overwhelming states of distress, a painful mix of intense fear, toxic shame, and a deep, aching depression related to the feeling of abandonment. If parents are unable or unwilling to provide a sufficiently safe and consistent loving attachment, a child cannot fully entrust their developing self to anyone. There's no one reliable to provide accurate feedback, healthy validation, or wise guidance. When difficulties arise, there's no safe person to turn to for comfort or help. There's no safe space to cry out against injustice, no compassionate ear to receive the stories of hurts, mistakes, accidents, or betrayals. There's no one to consistently mirror their joy, celebrate their successes, or simply be with them in authentic back-and-forth communication, the very foundation of intimacy. I have heard souls describe this painful reality. Talking to my parent felt like giving ammunition to the enemy. Anything I shared could and would be used against me later. No wonder I learned to be quiet and keep things to myself. Those who carry these wounds often never learned the essential communication skills needed for genuine closeness and belonging. Engaging with others can feel fraught with exhausting social anxiety. In moments of intense triggering or flashback, this can escalate into a paralyzing fear of social situations altogether. Many precious souls, driven by the unconscious pull to repeat the past, a dynamic sometimes called repetition compulsion, find themselves drawn into adult relationships that tragically reenact the very abuse or abandonment dynamics they experienced as children. For many carrying these deep wounds, embarking on a relationship with a truly safe and caring person, whether a therapist, a mentor, or a friend committed to mutual growth, might be the first time they consciously experience a relationship built on safety and genuine care. It's a sacred trust. If that person lacks the skill and compassion to provide the necessary safety, to patiently help rebuild trust, it can feel devastating, potentially discouraging further attempts at connection. Furthermore, learning to manage the overwhelming emotional storms often called flashbacks, moments where past feelings flood the present, is far more effective within the context of a safe relationship. You need to feel safe enough with someone to even begin describing the humiliating or terrifying experiences held within. And that person needs to offer the consistent compassion, calmness, and validation that were missing in your early life. It's also crucial for anyone supporting someone with these wounds to understand that trust can be fragile. Trauma can create a hair trigger, off switch for trust, often activated automatically during flashbacks. A healing relationship requires the capacity to navigate these sudden ruptures in trust with patience and understanding, repeatedly offering reassurance and working collaboratively to restore the connection. So many have shared stories of disappointment with helpers who became frustrated or angry when they couldn't simply choose to trust consistently. The healing power of a corrective relationship understanding this leads me to emphasize the profound healing power available through relationship. What some might call an intersubjective or relational approach to healing. A high-quality, safe, and authentic connection with another person can provide a powerful corrective emotional experience. It can gently challenge the deeply ingrained belief that genuine connection is impossible or unsafe, preventing a life lived in superficiality, isolation, or alienation. I have observed that without establishing at least a moderate level of trust and safety in a relationship, guidance is less readily received, and even empathy offered may not fully penetrate the defenses built around a wounded heart. Therefore, cultivating certain key qualities within your significant relationships and seeking them in those you choose for support is vital for fostering the trust necessary for this relational healing to occur. Consider these 4 pillars. Empathy. This is the ability to sense and understand another person's feelings, to see the world from their perspective without judgment. It's feeling with someone, not just feeling sorry for them. It involves truly listening, not just to the words, but to the emotions underneath. My own empathy for you is boundless. I feel your hurts, your joys, your struggles. Seek relationships where empathy is present and strive to offer it yourself. It's the bedrock of feeling seen and understood. Authentic vulnerability. This does not mean oversharing or having no boundaries. It means being real, genuine, and appropriately transparent about your own humanity, including your struggles and imperfections. When someone you trust can share their own vulnerabilities in a healthy way, it creates safety for you to do the same. It dismantles pretense and allows for real connection. Think of how I revealed my heart through the prophets, and ultimately, my very nature in the person of Jesus, who experienced human vulnerability fully. Healthy vulnerability builds bridges of trust. Dialogue. True relationship involves more than just taking turns talking. It requires genuine dialogue, a back and forth exchange where both parties feel heard, understood, and valued. It involves speaking your truth with love and courage, and also listening deeply to understand the other's truth. It's a dynamic process of mutual discovery and connection. This is the kind of relationship I desire with you, an ongoing conversation, a sharing of hearts. Collaborative relationship repair. No relationship is perfect. Misunderstandings, hurts, and ruptures will happen, even between people with the best intentions. The hallmark of a strong, healing relationship is the ability and willingness to repair these ruptures together. This involves acknowledging the hurt, taking responsibility for one's part, offering and receiving apologies sincerely, and working collaboratively to understand what went wrong and how to reconnect. It's not about assigning blame, but about restoring the bond. My entire plan of redemption is centered on repairing the ultimate rupture caused by sin, restoring relationship through grace and forgiveness. Learning to repair ruptures in your human relationships is a powerful skill that deepens trust and intimacy immeasurably. Seeking support. wisely if you recognize these patterns of deep wounding in your own life. Seeking support is an act of wisdom and courage. This might involve finding a skilled and compassionate therapist or counselor who understands trauma and relational healing. When seeking such help, look for someone who embodies these qualities of empathy, appropriate vulnerability, and a commitment to dialogue and repair. Ask questions about their approach to building safety and trust. If formal therapy isn't feasible or feels like too big a step right now, consider developing a relationship of mutual peer counseling with a trusted, emotionally mature friend who is also committed to growth and healing. Agree on ground rules for safety, confidentiality, and mutual respect. Alternatively, carefully chosen online support forums or groups where others share their healing journeys with vulnerability and mutual respect can offer a sense of community and understanding. However, always exercise discernment in any online interaction. Remember, the goal is to find or cultivate relationships where you feel safe enough to be real, to explore your wounds, and to experience the corrective power of genuine, compassionate connection. This is my design for healing. Living as my masterpiece, embracing your woven story, my beloved child. I want you to grasp the profound truth that your life is not merely a random sequence of disconnected events. It is a meticulously woven tapestry designed by me, the master weaver, with intricate detail, profound purpose, and breathtaking beauty. Each thread, every experience, every relationship, every joy, every sorrow contributes to the overall pattern and meaning of the whole creation that is you. You may not always perceive the emerging design, especially when your focus is narrowed by a particularly challenging thread, a knot of difficulty, or a period of deep uncertainty. Standing too close to the loom, you see only tangled threads. But I, my child, see the complete masterpiece. I understand precisely how each thread interlinks with the others, how each color complements the whole, how even the tightest knots serve to strengthen the integrity of the fabric of your life. I ask you to trust in my craftsmanship, my beloved. Rest assured, I make no mistakes. Nothing in your life, when surrendered to me, is left purely to random chance. Every single experience, whether bathed in sunlight or shrouded in shadow, whether filled with laughter or stained with tears, is intentionally woven into the tapestry of your existence. Each one serves a purpose: to shape you, to mold your character, to refine your spirit, and to prepare you for the glorious, unique destiny I have meticulously planned specifically for you. Therefore, do not judge the entire tapestry based on a single difficult thread or even a challenging section. I invite you to step back, metaphorically speaking, and view your life through the lens of faith. Try to perceive the larger, unfolding picture, the emerging beauty, the intricate complexity, the divine design that is your unique life story, authored by me. Those darker threads, the knots that represent struggles, the stitches that seem uneven or imperfect from your limited viewpoint, these are not flaws in my design. They are essential elements, integral to the overall composition. They provide depth, texture, contrast, and ultimately enhance the brilliance of the brighter threads. They represent the challenges you have faced, the trials you have endured, the setbacks that have tested your resolve. Paradoxically, these difficult elements serve to highlight and accentuate the threads of joy, the moments of triumph, the breakthroughs of grace. They make the story richer, more profound, more resilient. Embrace every thread in your tapestry, my child, for each one is necessary and valuable in my eyes. Each contributes to the richness, the depth, and the unique complexity of your life's design. Each thread, ultimately, bears witness to my unwavering love, my infinite wisdom, and my steadfast commitment to your ultimate good and eternal well-being. As the tapestry of your life continues to unfold under my guidance, if you remain watchful and trusting, you will begin to perceive the intricate patterns more clearly. You will start to understand how seemingly disconnected events were actually profoundly interconnected. You will recognize how the challenges you bravely faced prepared you for the unforeseen opportunities that follow. You will see how the periods of darkness you endured actually made the subsequent light shine with even greater brilliance and significance in your life. The call to persevere. Strength in the journey, my precious child. I know intimately that this journey of life, this process of becoming, is not always easy. There will inevitably be times when you feel utterly weary, deeply discouraged, perhaps even strongly tempted to abandon the path, to give up on the process. But in those moments, I urge you with all my love, persevere. Do not lose heart. Do not turn back from the sacred path I have set before you, the path leading to your truest self and your highest destiny. Perseverance is far more than passive endurance of hardship. It is an active, dynamic pressing forward, fueled by faith, sustained by hope, and characterized by unwavering determination to reach the goal I have set for you. It is the conscious refusal to be defeated by obstacles, setbacks, disappointments, or the discouraging voices either within or without. It means clinging tenaciously to my promises, found in my word, even when your physical eyes cannot yet see the way forward clearly. Remember this truth: the greatest and most meaningful achievements in any life are rarely, if ever, accomplished without steadfast perseverance. The most stunningly beautiful flowers often bloom bravely in the most challenging and unlikely environments. The strongest, most resilient trees are invariably those that have weathered the fiercest storms, their roots driven deeper by the struggle. And similarly, the most profound and resilient souls are those who, through my grace, have navigated and overcome the greatest adversities. Crucially, you are never alone in this journey of perseverance, my child. I am with you constantly, unfailingly. I promise to strengthen you when you feel weak and depleted. I will whisper encouragement to your spirit when you feel utterly discouraged. I will provide clear guidance when you feel lost or uncertain about the next step. Draw strength continually from my word, which is a lamp illuminating your immediate steps and a bright light revealing the path ahead. Draw strength from consistent prayer, your direct, open line of communication to my throne of grace, the source of all divine power. Draw strength from the fellowship of other believers, your brothers and sisters in faith, who can offer invaluable support, genuine encouragement, practical help, and loving accountability on your journey. And recall the inspiring examples of those faithful ones who have walked this path before you, men and women of faith who persevered through unimaginable trials and emerged victorious, their lives shining as beacons of hope. Their stories, recorded for your benefit, serve as powerful testaments to the reality of faith, the critical importance of endurance, and the ultimate, inevitable triumph of my goodness and light over darkness and evil. Do not be paralyzed by the fear of stumbling, my child. Every single person on this journey stumbles at times. Falling is not failing. The key lies in getting back up, humbly learning from the experience, seeking my forgiveness and strength, and resolutely continuing to move forward. With each step you take after a stumble, empowered by my grace, you are actually growing stronger, gaining wisdom, and developing greater resilience for the road ahead. The ocean of grace, your unearned strength, my beloved. I yearn for you to grasp the profound, life-altering reality of my grace. Grace is not something you can ever earn through effort, achieve through merit, or deserve through righteousness. It is a completely free gift, flowing directly from my heart, the ultimate expression of my unconditional, extravagant love for you. Grace is my unmerited favor poured out upon you. It is my divine assistance readily available to you. It is my empowering presence dwelling within you through my Holy Spirit. Grace is the supernatural power that enables you to overcome the pull of sin, to resist temptation effectively, to live a life that genuinely pleases me, not through willpower alone, but through reliance on my strength working in and through you. However, understand clearly, my child, grace is not a license to disregard my ways. It is not a justification for spiritual complacency or an excuse to take my infinite love for granted. On the contrary, true grace received ignites within the heart an overwhelming sense of gratitude, which in turn fuels a desire for obedience and holiness, not out of fearful obligation, but out of joyful love and appreciation for the gift received. Embrace my grace fully, my child. Receive it with arms wide open and a heart willing to be transformed. Allow this divine energy to flow freely through every part of your being, cleansing, renewing, and transforming you from the inside out. Let grace be the unshakable foundation upon which your faith rests. Let it be the inexhaustible source from which you draw strength for every challenge. Let it be the pure motivation behind your service to me and to others. Grace is not a one-time deposit. It is a continuous, life-giving river flowing from my throne. It is abundantly available to you every single moment of every single day. When you feel weak, my grace is sufficient to sustain you. When you face temptation, my grace is your impenetrable shield. When discouragement threatens to overwhelm you, my grace is your comforting embrace and your source of renewed hope. Do not attempt to navigate this life relying solely on your own limited strength, my child. You will inevitably falter and grow weary. Instead, learn the secret of consciously relying on my infinite grace. Place your trust fully in my power working within you. Surrender your struggles and your will to mine. And then, watch with wonder as I work in your life, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary, bringing beauty from ashes and strength from weakness. My grace knows no bounds, my child. It is abundant, overflowing, perpetually available to all who humbly call upon my name. Do not hesitate to ask for it, to receive it freely, and then out of the overflow to generously share its fruits, love, kindness, patience, with others. The freedom of surrender, trusting the master plan, my precious child. Flowing from this understanding of grace is my call to a life of complete surrender. Surrender in my kingdom is not about defeated resignation or giving up hope. It is about consciously giving over, relinquishing your tight grip on the illusion of control, and willingly placing every aspect of your life into my loving, capable hands. True surrender is not a sign of weakness. Paradoxically, it is the ultimate act of strength and faith. It requires immense courage to let go of your own cherished plans, your deeply ingrained desires, your carefully constructed ambitions, and to trust implicitly that I, your Creator who loves you infinitely, genuinely have a far better, more fulfilling plan for your life than you could ever devise on your own. Surrender is not a single event, a one-time decision made and then forgotten. It is a daily, sometimes moment-by-moment practice. It involves making the conscious, often difficult choice to prioritize my will above your own desires, to trust my infinite wisdom even when it surpasses your limited human understanding, and to follow my gentle leading even when the path ahead seems unclear or challenging. When you truly surrender your life to me, my child, you are not losing anything of lasting value. You are, in fact, gaining everything that truly matters. You are gaining access to a depth of peace that surpasses all comprehension, a resilient joy that is not dependent on circumstances, a profound sense of purpose that anchors your soul, and a lasting fulfillment that the world can neither give nor take away, treasures you could never secure through your own striving. Surrender your anxieties, your crippling fears, your nagging doubts. Place them consciously at my feet. Surrender the regrets of your past, the uncertainties of your present, the worries about your future, and trust them all to me. Surrender your relationships, your financial concerns, your career path, your health. Surrender every single area of your life into my care, and trust me to handle it all according to my perfect wisdom and love. I will not always give you precisely what you want in the moment, my child, because my perspective is eternal, and I see what is truly best for you in the long run. But I promise, I will always provide exactly what you need for your growth, your well-being, and the fulfillment of my purposes through you. I will guide you faithfully, protect you fiercely, provide for you abundantly, and lead you step by step into a life far richer, far deeper, and far more meaningful than anything you could ever orchestrate on your own. Do not be afraid to let go and surrender, my child. My character is impeccable. I am utterly trustworthy. I am eternally faithful. I am inherently good. My promise stands forever. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Trust me with your whole life. Beauty in brokenness. Where my light shines through, my beloved, I know the reality of brokenness in this fallen world. You have experienced hurt, perhaps deep wounding, profound disappointment. There may be parts of you that feel shattered, fragmented, incomplete, like a vessel cracked and leaking. But I want you to hear this truth deep within your spirit. Brokenness is not the final word, my child. It is often, in my mysterious economy, the necessary beginning of something truly beautiful. It is precisely through the cracks of your brokenness that my light can shine most brightly into the world. It is often in the places where you feel weakest and most inadequate that my grace can be most profoundly experienced and displayed. Do not despise your brokenness, my child. Do not try to frantically hide it, deny its existence, or pretend you have it all together. Instead, I invite you to bring your broken pieces, your fragmented heart, your painful wounds directly to me. Allow me, the divine healer, to gently touch those wounded places, to soothe your aching soul, and to begin the process of making you whole again, not necessarily by erasing the scars, but by integrating them into a stronger, more compassionate version of you. Remember the eternal principle. It is precisely in your acknowledged weakness that my strength finds its most perfect expression. It is in your willingness to be vulnerable before me and trusted others that my power is most fully displayed. It is through the very cracks of your human frailty and brokenness that my glory can shine out, offering hope and light to others who are also struggling. The world may view brokenness as a flaw, a sign of failure, something to be ashamed of. But I, your loving Creator, see it as a profound opportunity. I see it as a sacred space where I can demonstrate the depth of my love, the power of my grace, and my unparalleled ability to redeem, restore, and transform lives, bringing immense beauty out of ashes. I am the master potter, and you are the precious clay, my child. Trust me. I can take the broken shards of your life, the painful fragments of your past experiences, and skillfully mold them into something breathtakingly beautiful. Something entirely new, something that uniquely reflects my glory and serves my purposes in the world. Therefore, do not be ashamed of your scars, my child. They are not marks of defeat. They are, in fact, powerful testaments to your resilience, your God-given strength, and your courageous ability to overcome adversity through my enabling grace. They serve as tangible reminders that you have walked through the refining fires of life and have emerged, not unscathed perhaps, but stronger, wiser, and more compassionate, prepared for greater service. The liberating power of forgiveness, my precious child, flowing naturally from embracing grace and acknowledging brokenness, is my clear call for you to live a life characterized by forgiveness. Understand this. Forgiveness is not merely a helpful suggestion. It is an absolute essential for spiritual health and freedom. It is a divine command, a fundamental requirement for walking in fellowship with me, and a master key that unlocks the door to true inner freedom and lasting peace. Forgiveness is not about pretending that a wrongdoing didn't happen or condoning hurtful behavior. It is absolutely not about saying, "What you did was okay." Rather, forgiveness is the conscious, often difficult choice to release the debilitating bitterness, the corrosive resentment, and the consuming anger that hold you captive when you harbor unforgiveness. It is about choosing, by an act of your will empowered by my Spirit, to let go of the painful grip of the past and to move forward freely in the light of my grace. Forgiveness is primarily a decision, not an emotion. You may not feel like forgiving. The hurt may still be present, but you choose to obey my command and trust me with the justice and the outcome. It is a volitional act of releasing the offender from the emotional or perceived debt they owe you, even, and especially, when they show no remorse or seem utterly undeserving of it. Crucially, understand that forgiveness is ultimately not for the primary benefit of the person who wronged you. It is profoundly for your benefit. It is for your own healing, your own liberation from the chains of the past, your own restored peace of mind, and the unhindered flow of my spirit in your life. When you cling tightly to unforgiveness, my child, you are only inflicting further pain upon yourself. You are allowing the poison of bitterness to seep into your soul, stealing your joy, damaging your relationships, hindering your prayers, and creating a barrier in your intimacy with me. Forgiveness is often a process, my child, not an instantaneous event. It may not happen completely overnight. It may require significant time, fervent prayer, courageous honesty with yourself, and the ongoing help and empowerment of my Holy Spirit working within you. But I promise you, the freedom found on the other side is absolutely worth the struggle. As you choose to forgive others, mirroring the forgiveness I have so lavishly extended to you, you will experience a profound release, a spiritual and emotional freedom, and a depth of peace that you may have previously thought impossible. You will find yourself able to move forward in your life, unburdened by the crushing weight of past hurts, free to love and serve me with your whole heart. And never forget the foundation of all forgiveness, my child. I have forgiven you. Through the sacrifice of my Son, Jesus, I have paid the ultimate price to erase your sins, cancel your debt, and reconcile you fully to myself. If I, the perfectly holy God, can forgive your multitude of offenses against me, then surely, empowered by my grace, you can extend forgiveness to others who have wronged you. Let my forgiveness of you be the constant motivation and empowerment for you to forgive others. Love, the supreme ethic, the driving force, my beloved, above all else. Remember that love is the greatest commandment, the supreme ethic of my kingdom. It is the very foundation upon which my kingdom rests, the pure essence of my divine character, and the powerful driving force behind everything I do. Love, as I define it, is far more than a fleeting emotion or a sentimental feeling. It is a conscious action, a deliberate choice, a committed way of life. It involves actively choosing to put the needs, well-being, and highest good of others before your own, consistently demonstrating kindness, showing genuine compassion, and extending mercy freely, even and especially when it feels difficult or undeserved. Recall the description of this divine love. Love is extraordinarily patient, consistently kind. Love does not harbor envy or jealousy. It does not boast about its own accomplishments. It is not inflated with pride or arrogance. Love does not dishonor others or behave rudely. It is not self-seeking or demanding of its own way. It is not easily angered or provoked. It keeps no meticulous record of wrong suffered. Love finds no delight in evil or injustice, but rejoices whenever truth prevails. Love always protects the vulnerable, always trusts my goodness and the potential for good in others, always hopes for the best, always perseveres through challenges without giving up. This, my child, is the high and holy standard of love I call you to emulate. A love that is inherently selfless, willing to sacrifice personal comfort or preference for the good of another, and fundamentally unconditional, mirroring the way I love you, not based on your performance or worthiness, but simply because you are mine. Love your neighbor as you love yourself, my child. This encapsulates much of my law. Extend this love even to your enemies, those who oppose or persecute you. Love those who seem difficult or different from you. Strive through my empowering spirit to love everyone without exception, seeing each person as created in my image and infinitely valuable in my sight. Make no mistake, my child, this kind of love is the most potent and transformative force in the entire universe. It possesses the power to conquer entrenched hatred, to overcome deeply rooted evil, and to bring profound healing to the deepest wounds of the human heart. Love can restore broken relationships, mend fractured communities, and bring genuine, lasting peace to a world desperately troubled by conflict and division. Let your entire life become a living testament to the power of this divine love, my child. Let your words be seasoned with grace and kindness. Let your actions consistently demonstrate compassion and service. Let your very presence radiate the warmth, acceptance, and peace that flow from a heart filled with my love. The lifelong journey of faith, my precious child. Understand that the life you are called to live as my follower is a journey, not a destination reached overnight. It is a marathon requiring endurance, not a short sprint. It demands steadfast perseverance through challenges and an unwavering trust in me, even when the path ahead is unclear. Faith, the cornerstone of this journey, is not about possessing all the answers or having a complete intellectual understanding of my ways. Rather, faith is about actively trusting me, relying on my character and my promises, even when you don't fully comprehend my purposes or see the immediate evidence of my working. It is about consciously choosing to walk by faith, trusting in what I have revealed, rather than relying solely on your physical sight or limited human reasoning. This journey of faith will not always feel easy or comfortable, my child. There will inevitably be seasons of doubt, moments of fear, periods of deep discouragement. You will encounter mountains of difficulty that seem insurmountable, traverse valleys of shadow and sorrow, and weather fierce storms that threaten to capsize your hope. But hold fast to this unwavering promise. I will never leave you nor forsake you. I am Emmanuel, God with you. I will be beside you every single step of the way, faithfully guiding your path, fiercely protecting your soul, and abundantly providing for your true needs according to my riches in glory. Do not be afraid to bring your honest questions to me, my child. Do not hesitate to voice your doubts or struggles. My wisdom is infinite, my love is unconditional, and my patience is boundless. I am more than capable of handling your toughest questions, and I promise always to lead you gently towards greater understanding and enduring truth. It is vital on this journey to surround yourself intentionally with fellow travelers, people of genuine faith who can offer encouragement when you falter, provide support in times of need, and hold you lovingly accountable to walk in my ways. Authentic Christian community is not an optional extra. It is a God-ordained source of strength, wisdom, and inspiration for the marathon of faith. And remember always, my child, that the journey of faith is not measured by perfection, but by progress. It is about continually growing in your intimate relationship with me, progressively becoming more like my Son, Jesus, in character and conduct, and faithfully fulfilling the unique purpose for which I created you. Keep your spiritual eyes fixed steadfastly on me, my child, the author and perfecter of your faith. Do not allow yourself to be excessively distracted by the alluring but ultimately empty promises of this world. Refuse to be paralyzed by discouragement when you face inevitable challenges. Anchor your soul firmly in my unchanging love. Rely completely on my inexhaustible grace, and trust implicitly in my sovereign power to see you safely through every circumstance, ultimately bringing you home to me. Embracing the abundant life, my beloved child, remember the words of my Son. I came that they may have life and have it to the full. This is my promise, my deep desire for you, a life of true abundance, not measured merely by material wealth or worldly success, but overflowing in every dimension of your being, spiritually, emotionally, relationally. The abundant life is not synonymous with a life free from problems, challenges, or suffering, my child. This world remains broken. Rather, the abundant life is a life lived consciously in my presence, continually empowered by my indwelling Holy Spirit, consistently guided by the wisdom of my word, and characterized by deep purpose, profound meaning, and lasting fulfillment, regardless of external circumstances. True abundance is fundamentally not about what you have, but about who you are in me. It stems from the security of your relationship with me, the development of Christ-like character within you, the alignment of your values with mine, and your wholehearted commitment to living a life that brings me glory and reflects my love to the world. Seek first my kingdom and my righteousness. My child, prioritize my rule and my ways in your life, and trust me to provide for all your genuine needs. Do not be consumed by anxiety about tomorrow, Focus on living faithfully and obediently in the present moment I have given you. Each day has enough challenges of its own. Trust me to equip you for them as they arise. Trust in me with all your heart, my child. Do not rely solely on your own limited understanding or perspective. In all your ways, in every decision, every plan, every relationship, acknowledge me. Seek my guidance, submit to my will, and I promise that I will make your path straight, guiding you towards the best possible outcome according to my perfect plan.